Beautiful. Oh, okay. Got it. Anyway, looks like you're going to Arc de Triomphe in Belgium, and you go in there early in the morning and don't waste time eating lunch. There is every uniform, gorgeous, gorgeous uniforms and decorations, and from every war in Europe. It is something to see.
Oh, okay.
Helmet, everything. You guys need to.
Have you guys heard about our museum down by Union Station? It's the World War I museum. It's quite interesting also. Many of the same kind of artifacts, uniforms, weaponry, etc. It's well worth seeing.
Yeah, but Europe has got much fancier uniforms than we do. And pretty stuff and the beautiful tailoring. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's also World War I.
Only a woman would see that. I mean, come on,
I'm a dressmaker. That's what I do. I made uniforms,
Oh, okay. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
For the Clark thing. And I've done World War I repro uniforms. There's also
fascinating.
There's a neat World War I museum in Kansas City, just outside of Kansas City. And that's the one part
right.
That's great too.
Yep. That's the one I was talking about before. Yep.
That's near Kansas City. Yeah. Let's see. You were talking about what you did on Christmas and what y'all had to eat. And Paul said no talking about politics, and he had Rachel Maddow in the background.
I did. That was my wife. She was watching that. That's her fault.
Oh, is it only 3?
We got 2 strong conservatives with you tonight, Paul.
So
be careful.
I'm outnumbered.
Are we the only 3 on here yet?
We're it. Yeah, we're it.
Oh, then we can tease each other. It's okay. Still riding the motorcycle. And let's see.
I can't believe you're so organized. You took notes. You have prepared what you're going to say. That's amazing.
She good.
Yes, I wanted to catch up with you. And then poor possum that Gary doesn't like possum. And I know Rich. Yeah, he's doing good with his knees, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I just had knee injections. I had liquid pumped into my knees.
Well, that means you're okay.
Yeah, I don't need new knees. I just need to kind of baby along the ones I have.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's a day when the injections won't work anymore.
I believe it.
Yeah. And Pat, his book, I think, was Atlas Struggled.
Atlas Struggled.
Atlas Shrugged.
Shrugged?
Atlas Shrugged. Okay.
Shrugged.
Yeah, we read that one. And they made a movie of that one too. Yeah. So yeah, you guys had a really good, interesting thing going there. And the movies, Rhapsody in Blue, and did you see Randolph Scott and who was the World War I hero? Sergeant York. That was a really good movie too. And then of course we just did
Sergeant York. Yeah.
Yeah, believe it or not, before I met my wife, I dated a woman whose father was Sergeant York.
Really?
Really?
Son of a gun.
Well, York is a kind of a common name. I'm assuming that's what you mean, right?
No, that was her father, the actual person in that movie.
The Sergeant York?
Yeah. She had all kinds of mementos and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Holy lowly. Yeah, the only him was Audie Murphy, I think. Audie Murphy definitely left a string of medals and things.
Yeah, I saw a movie about Audie Murphy when I was a kid. I forget the name of it, but it was in Chautauqua, Illinois, on one of our summer evening movies that we watched. there.
Yeah. So I was sitting here talking to you guys last night, whether you heard me or not, Well- watching your program.
Well, that's good. That's good. You got we got a reaction out of you. That's great.
Mhm.
Now, that's how women are. They always talk too much, you know. I'll be quiet now.
No, you don't have to be quiet.
No, no,
Just
no,
keep
no,
talking.
no, no,
That's
no, no.
fine.
You bet.
I just confirmed a friend with Harold Nagel.
Nagley, isn't it Nagley?
Well, you know, I thought it was Negley when we were in school too. And then later on, we were all talking. People were calling him Harold Nagel. So it's Naegle. So
Yeah, I don't know.
Negley. I always knew it as Negley also. Mhm.
Yeah, Nagley.
Well, anyway, he sent me a friend request and I just approved it about 10 minutes ago. And I thought, well, how interesting is that?
Yeah, and he sent me one too. I guess he's becoming socially active now.
Oh, good. Yeah. Did you get my updates on Jerry Akiki and who's the
I did. I made those updates. I updated my database.
Okay, yeah, Jerry lives right here next to me, not next to me, about 4 miles away. And I've known her for 10, 15 years again. We got back together up at Oakland House and I drug her into that. So we interact a lot, but she is not computer savvy and does not intend to be.
Well, that's not unusual. A lot of people from our generation don't have computers. Maybe they don't even have cell phones, you know?
Well,
Maybe they still have landline phones.
She does. She only has a landline. Yeah. Some of my happiest days are when I forget my phone though, I'll have to admit.
Ha, ha, ha.
I get going on stuff and I just enjoy the heck out of myself and I don't keep answering the darn phone.
I don't know whether I mentioned it last Zoom meeting or not, but I probably am the king of receiving scam phone calls. In this last month alone, I won the Publishers Clearinghouse grand prize 6 times, winning
believe it.
also 5 cars and 1 truck. Interestingly enough, I never got a check and I never got a vehicle. I don't understand.
But do you
Don't
click,
hold your breath.
do you click on that and answer them or check them or, I mean, how? Usually they go away if you don't answer.
Well, that I
They don't go
often
away,
do not
Nancy.
answer
Those
when I don't know the
calls
number.
do not go away.
Really? I don't get
Well, let me tell you, if you get a call from Jamaica, it's a scam. If you get a call from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's a scam. Don't answer those.
okay.
No, some of those telemarketers are getting really clever. They'll use your area code to call you to make it
Yeah.
look like it's coming from
Somebody.
someone you might know, you know.
My
But,
own telephone called me. My number appeared on the window. How the heck did that happen? Oh, well.
they
More
can
than
fake caller IDs, Gary. That's how they do it.
they know more
Yep.
than we.
Oh, well.
Tell you who's interesting is that Pat Lupins.
Pat
He's-
has a wealth of information on all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, so was Rich Reinheimer. I mean,
And Rich, yeah.
yeah, he seemed kind of quiet in school. I knew Pat was brainy in school. You know, he just seemed like it at that time, but boy, he went on and did so many interesting things.
You know,
Yeah.
Pat said something that I didn't remember that he remembered. He had come over to our house and he fixed our TV. And my
That's what-
mom
Wow.
was totally amazed that he did that. You know, he came over, it was like a TV repairman, you know. And I didn't remember that. He remembered coming over to our house and doing that, you know.
Yeah. What- You'd be waiting a long time for me to do a service call.
Y'all didn't know that back then, that Pat fixed TVs, I guess. He was pretty brainy guy. He's pretty smart. And he's staying healthy too with that rowing. He builds boats and he takes boats out on the whatever body of water it is where he is, up there in New England somewhere.
I think he's St. Lawrence Seaway, didn't he say?
Yeah, St. Lawrence Seaway.
Yeah.
What he said. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we were lazy.
Northwestern New York.
Yeah. We were lazy. We did sailboats. We let the wind do it. So I'm not much for a boat. Kind of watery. For somebody who doesn't. We went out.
If you're not gonna fish, why would you get in a boat? Come on.
Well, for sailing, my husband liked it, and he wasn't my husband at that time, so I didn't say no. Maybe later on when you're married, you go like, no, I don't want. But I went.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it was at nighttime, of course, because we both worked during the day, and so we're out sailing. And like I said, I don't swim. I've had 2 uncles drowned, so I'm always kind of like with water. And so we're riding along, and it's over on Carlisle Lake. And I said, how deep is it here? Just thinking ahead. And he says, 20 feet. And I'm thinking, glug, glug, forget that one. 20 feet, I'm going to dive if it goes over. So we keep on. And a little bit later, he says, what's the matter? You're awful quiet, which is unusual for me. And I said, there's too much water and too little of us, and he always thought that was pretty funny. So all night long, I kept hearing that halyard line hit the mast, bang, bang. And I couldn't sleep because I was afraid of the water anyway. We're sleeping on the dumb boat and he's snoring away and I wanted to throw him overboard, So I was waiting in the morning for him, to wake up in the daylight so I could go potty, for God's sakes, So
just hang over the side. Come on.
He jumps over the side and does what he does. And I said, what are you doing? He said, well, it's morning. I had to take a leak. And I said, what do you mean? He said, where we're docked, he said, it's only like 4 foot of water. And I'm thinking, scared all night long, couldn't go potty. I'm listening to this dumb metal thing hit the mast up there. And it's like, scared shitless, and then we're in 4 foot of water. I'm a landlubber.
We went down to Padre Island to just for a vacation, rent a little cottage by the beach. And I saw this, we were walking down by this restaurant and I saw this sign, boat for sale, So I go up to the guy and said, could you take us out for a test ride, And I thought it might be cool to have a boat. But then once he took us out and I saw what was involved, I saw all the mechanics, I saw the navigation, I saw the maintenance, I saw the cost of fuel and the cost of having a boat. It totally turned me off to the idea of having a boat like that one anyway. Maybe what Pat's doing with a little canoe or a little tiny boat would be okay, but this would be a very involved, expensive proposition to have a boat like that.
Sandy Leopold.
Yeah, Sandy, she could talk to us if she would ever show up. She could talk to us about the real art of boatsmanship because they go all over the Gulf.
Yeah, they do the loop.
Yeah.
Up the coast and come around. Yeah. But my husband loved sailing. He was in the Navy and he ended up, the guy who started out, did you ever hear the Lewis and Clark expedition? Did either of you follow that when it happened? In 2001 to 2005? I
thought you meant the original.
Well, they reenacted the original 200 years to the day.
Okay.
They used Clark's journals and they stopped at the exact same landings and did the same things or whatever. And they had the repro boats and they went up to Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania and got the original keel boat, brought it down the, what would that be, the Cincinnati River? I think Cincinnati River down to the confluence, back up the Mississippi, and then started out. And they did this. It took them 2 years going out and 1 year coming back. And they had a boat and 2 pirogues, but they did cheat. They had engines on them because you can't.
Bums.
You can't navigate the
That's
wall,
cheating.
you know. But
Come on, Cheryl.
is she
Yeah,
coming in?
Cheryl's in here, but she doesn't have her video or audio set up yet, but she's here. She
Okay.
might even be hearing us.
She can hear us. So we can't say bad things about her? No? We got to talk nice about her? Oh,
Well,
come
we're-
on.
Grade, guys. We left that in 6th grade.
Okay.
She's a non-video participant with her microphone muted. So Cheryl, if you can hear me, unmute your microphone, at least do that. And if you can, turn on your video. I'll send her a message to turn on her video. So what else do you have in your notes about our meeting, Nancy? What else did you have notes noted?
Okay.
What was notable?
You wanted to know how many hours people slept. I couldn't believe somebody was sleeping 8 hours. It's like, I'd have rigor mortis if I laid down 8 hours.
Well, how much do you sleep? How many hours a night do you sleep?
I'm a 4 hours person. Always have
4
been.
hours? That's all?
Woo!
I've always been 4 hours. I sew until 2, then I go to sleep and I get up at 6. So
You do that every single night?
just about every
Wow.
night.
I don't know
It's-
how you're surviving.
It's my mother was about the same way. It's kind of our genes, I suppose. When I sleep longer, I hurt, my lungs hurt, and I'm just kind of groggy all day. So 4 hours, it's my sweet spot. So
Hmm.
Do you find yourself as you get older that you sleep less or more?
No. About the same.
About the same. Okay.
Yeah, if it's
Mhm.
not as much. Actually, a lot of times I'm taking those 4 hours and I'm getting mad because I think I only got 4 hours, darn it. But, you know, be mad. So, yeah. And then for Christmas, you want to know what people did, what they all did. And we ate, open presents. And because my grandson has special needs and he has lung, kidney, and heart issues, we don't take a chance with COVID. So everybody came out to my house because we got a big backyard and we had Nerf gun fights and ate on the picnic tables in the backyard. A little different for Christmas, but
It was
Did you have
nice
good weather?
too.
oh
It was
yeah,
Nice weather.
yeah, it was about
It's been beautiful.
yeah, I just came in from raking leaves. And,
Yeah.
and I sit down and I was going to eat and I thought, oh, no, it's time to get on. So we did that.
Now,
Did you hear about our
next
meeting?
2 days will be a little cooler.
Did you hear about our
Next 2
meeting
days will
on,
be a little cooler. Mhm.
sorry, I'm
Go ahead.
doubled with you, Gary. Did you hear about our meeting by text or by email?
Who, you?
Yeah. How did you hear about it? Text or email?
Email. I don't think I
Email.
have it. For some reason, I don't find a text from you.
Oh, okay. I thought I sent you one. I tried to send everybody a text because I thought, well, maybe some people aren't coming to the meetings because they don't have email, but they only have text messaging, you know?
I don't know.
I saw the text.
Haven't, yeah. And you ask what kind of animals? I've got 2 cats and 1 bunny. I take whatever is left.
And they
with me.
And
they
what did you,
coexist, really?
Are you kidding? I have got 1 cat and he's the craziest dude. He was left out somewhere in some neighbor's yard and he must have been a house cat at one point. And he was trying to get in the doors. Everybody was trying to like, no. And it was snowy and I felt sorry for him. So it's like,
Oh,
I tried to bring him home and the cat in the house said, no. So I have a garage / playhouse, I call it, workshop in the backyard. So he's the king of that. So that's his
okay.
house. But he goes for walks on a leash, just like a dog. And
Really?
yeah, I came in I walked him tonight. So anyway, I opened the rabbit cage and I'm down in there cleaning the cat rabbit cage and getting, oh, Joe Manis, darn it. I should have done that. Uh-oh, I hit something bad.
Come back.
your audio is still here. Your video went away.
Yeah, I'm looking for the video thing. Woo.
Down at
Oh,
the
well.
bottom.
Yeah, I'm down at the bottom. I've got delete, archive, move, stay. More. No, reply. This is like on my email thing. Darn. Oh, well, we can just talk. Are you still there?
We're here.
Yep.
Cheryl's
Yeah.
still here. She's pretty quiet, but she's still here.
She's like me. I don't know. I don't, why'd my video go away? Huh, it looks like the email screen. It doesn't look at all like,
Well, maybe you hit the mute button on the video. There's a mute button and you can unmute it.
see, I'm on my phone. I'm not on the computer.
Right. I need to get on.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it doesn't have a video or whatever, either one. Not showing on the screen anyway. Anyway, I open the cage and I start cleaning the rabbit cage and the cat jumps in there and they visit. And quite often I will just take them both into the garage if it's really cold in the winter and we don't get out a whole lot. I let them play and they just run around and play and they're
Well,
pals.
I'll be darned. Yeah.
Yep, they're both guys and they seem to get along just fine.
Son of a gun.
He's the talk of the street though. People stop all the time. They say, is that a cat? And I look at him and I act like I'm stupid, you know, like, yeah, it looks like a cat to me. You know, the cat. Well, don't tell him. He thinks it's okay. So
Oh, gosh.
I got 2 cats and a bunny. And let's see, you talked about the knees, but Gary had to go out and let his dog in. And
That's right.
you're talking about the knees and what you still do. And I still climb ladders and paint ceilings and dance. And I ride motorcycles yet, but not as much. I don't have any pal to ride them with anymore. So, but my knees work. They hurt a little, but they still work.
Yeah, I've taken to swimming and bicycling and kind of given up on running, but I do get out on the bike and go swimming every day.
Yeah, with the new knees, I don't know if anybody can run anymore. I'm not hurting run.
Yeah, I can't run.
I
You know,
just-
and when I was in high school, I was not a bad runner, pretty good runner. Gary can testify to that. And I had a good time in the quarter mile.
Well, you better run while you can, because I'm not sure that you can make the knees run. I don't know. I've not been able to. I've been pretty good with my knees, but I can't make them run. I'd fall over. The top of me goes faster than the legs can go.
Well, I had a sub 50-second quarter mile in high school, just under 50 seconds. And that was pretty good. And one time we were at a meet at, I keep thinking it was Clayton High, but Jack Newsom corrected me. He told me it wasn't Clayton High, it was Afton High School, I think. And the fastest, I was in a quarter mile race with the fastest guy in the county. His name was Wayne Herman. And they set us up staggered, you know, so we had to run in lanes. You know what I mean by staggered lanes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they set us up in these staggered lanes and the gun went off. I went around the first curve, you know, a quarter mile's one time around the track. So we go around the first curve and I'm ahead. I can't believe it. Wayne Herman's
You can't believe it.
chasing me. I can't believe Wayne Herman is chasing me in the quarter mile. So we go down the back stretch. He's still behind me, and we come around the final curve, and I come in first. And nobody can believe it. I can't believe it. Wayne Herman's in a state of total shock. My coach was in shock. Who was our track coach back then, Gary? What was his name? Lombardo. He was in a state he was shocked. And then we found out that they had forgotten to set up the blocks for the quarter mile. They still had the blocks set up for the half mile. So I had a huge advantage. So we had to rerun the race. Couldn't believe it. I think I had 15 seconds of fame, you know, and that was it. That was over.
Can you do
Anyway.
that? Yeah, that you've already run like that? Can you do you have enough oomph left to do it again?
Not really. We reran it and he beat me. I remember that.
Let me see if I get lost here. Don't worry about it. I'll go come back in again. And you'll just have to let me back in. See if I
Yeah,
can get
yeah,
this,
I'll let you back in. No sweat.
please.
There
Oh,
you are. You're good. You did something. You did
I hit-
something.
I hit the
So-
link that I in the
so-
first time.
So what room are you in? That's a lovely cabinet behind you there.
Oh, that's my armoire. I have several of those. I'm in my office, see type.
Oh
set
yeah,
up.
look at that. Look at how organized you are.
You want to see the desk? It's not organized. Since I became president of the Historical Society, I've been running behind.
And what's
Really?
that thing over there? Is that a wine rack over there? On the,
That?
no, keep going
Oh,
to the, yeah,
that?
what's that? Yeah,
That's my,
what's
that's a shoe rack on the.
shoe rack? Okay, shoe rack. Okay.
Yeah, not too many gals have their shoes on the door, but in the library. But I'm running
Good.
out this is the 1940s house. There just isn't that much. You know, it's a little older. There's another armoire. I love these.
You like armoires.
Oh yes, I got 3, and then I got an enormous library,
You do. Look at those, all those books.
and they're categorized by war and year and subject and etc. And there's our Lewis and Clark stuff, and then more. Anyway, I'm just a bookie nut. So yeah, that was an armoire.
Gary's
Everybody-
got his dog,
Oh, good.
faithful dog.
Yeah. Dogs are cool too. I'm just,
Yes,
I-
we people. These are nice people.
I was gonna say, this looks like last night. When I was watching the other one. Oh, and that's Bo too, right?
And what were
That's
you
dope.
saying about the movies we watched? You had some comments on that. What were your movies that you liked?
Mine? Oh, I
Yeah.
had I like Band of Brothers. I'm big on the history and stuff like that, although I like Blue,
Right.
Rap Blue. Gettysburg, I liked a whole lot, Blue and Green. Of course, I knew the guys in that. And then Thin Red Line, My Fair Lady, Gone with the Wind, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of my first ones. And the last one that I really get a kick out of all the time was The Full Monty. Do you remember
Yeah, the
that?
Full Monty. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Oh,
Do you all have Netflix? Do you have Netflix, Nancy?
I don't,
You
Gary,
don't have,
my husband, but I rarely have time to watch movies anymore. I'm watching too many.
do you have,
No.
Disney
Yeah, I got-
Plus?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, the Beatles, documentary. Did you see that?
The Beatles did not thrill me at all.
Really?
If I never heard of another Beatle, it would be fine.
Okay.
I wasn't thrilled with them at the time either.
Yeah. What's your favorite music then? What's your favorite band?
I'm World War II music. I'm the big band era.
Okay.
You know, all the old. We used to go to the Casalome every Friday night and dance down there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the second husband, the first guy, and they always say, "Don't feed men and dogs at your tent because you're going to take one of them home."
All
So I
right.
took, and then, of course, there's a lot of dancing in history. So you do a lot of waltzing, a lot of dancing. We have the grand ball once a year, and
Sure.
took dance lessons, and he learned the tango, rumba, cha-cha, waltz, all that. And we went to the Castellum Friday night. So we're big band music till he passed away.
Did you enjoy Fred Astaire movies?
Oh my gosh, yeah, but Fred Astaire was kind of hokey, but I loved his dancing.
Yeah.
You know, they said what a good dancer he was, and Sid Charisse was his first
Okay.
partner. Who was the second one? Ginger Rogers. And she said, well, if you think he's good, she said, I do everything he does backwards and in high heels. And I thought that was pretty funny. She's right. You know,
You talk about movies. I was stuck here doing work upstairs, and I ended up watching most of White Christmas 3 times yesterday. I love that movie.
Yeah, that's, I think, probably everybody's favorite, one of the favorites. Yeah. The other one, I used to like the road to Zanzibar, the road to Morocco. You remember
Yep,
those?
yep. All About Hopes, yep.
Yeah, Bob Hope, and who was he with at that time? Oh, Bing Crosby.
Crosby.
Yeah, Crosby. Road to Zanzibar, road to Morocco. Oh, can't remember. And Dorothy Lamour.
Yeah.
Dorothy,
Well, that era was my favorite era. The 40s, I think, had the best films going.
I think it's because every movie had a theme and a lesson, and it was upbeat. Everybody
Good
was trying to improve themselves at that time and improve other people. And
Yep.
now
Good
we're
point.
all at the bottom.
Yeah.
Did
Well,
you see
know,
the World War II movie on Netflix?
What World War II movie? There's very many.
Well, this is called it's called the history of World War II in color, Road to Victory.
No, I have not seen it. I'm going to write that down. The Road to Victory.
Yeah, it's World War II in color, Road to Victory. And you know that World War I movie that I showed you in the last
They
in the last, yeah, the one that Peter Jackson did, you know, where they took all the old footage and they processed it with artificial intelligence and they colorized it, you know, and this technology has good and evil uses, you know. A lot of it's being misused right now because they're impersonating people and making famous people say things they never said.
Oh.
But this was actually a really incredible application of that technology because they took all the old footage that was black and white, that was almost, you couldn't really make it out, and they sharpened it up and they enhanced it and they colorized it and they made it totally up to date, you know. And they've taken the entire World War II footage and they've done the same thing. They've gone through, it's like a 5 or 7 part series where they go into detail on every phase of the war from the beginning to the end.
Because they would have to do research on all the uniforms, all the tanks, all the scenery, you know, the local flora and fauna, or what do you want to call it, to get the right coloring.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we're arguing all the time over the coloring of the fabrics for the uniforms, you know, and the epaulets and all the rank and all that kind of stuff has to be, you know, just perfect or, you know, whatever. So that would take a lot of work to get that historically accurate. That would be interesting.
Yeah, it's extremely well done. I learned so much from watching that about the twists and turns of that war and how that war would have had a very different outcome if certain events wouldn't have transpired the way they did, you know. Like the first German advance, they massed their whole army in this one valley. And had there been the British had the intelligence to know that they were there, they could have hit them right then, and the whole series of events after that never would have occurred. There wouldn't have been a World War II.
Poland, probably, right?
Yeah, Poland. Yeah, when they were massing to attack Poland, and they were just like sitting ducks, but the intelligence didn't get through in time that they were there waiting, you know.
Isn't that, you know, who was the ambassador to Poland at that time?
Who was that?
Shirley Temple Black.
Oh, really? At that time?
She was the ambassador, American ambassador to Poland at the time, and she just got out in time and got back here. Shirley Temple.
I'll be darned.
She was Shirley Black at that point.
What the Germans did that changed the whole art of war was they moved incredibly fast. They had these incredibly fast tanks, and they gave all their soldiers methamphetamine. So they were going around the clock. They were going 24 hours, 7 days a week. They were on the move, and the equipment they had was super fast. So
Panzers.
that, yeah, so they moved fast and they didn't quit, and that's how they advanced so quickly. And there's all kinds of details like that in this World War II series.
They underestimated the American soldier, though.
Yeah,
They thought-
they did. Yeah.
Yep.
But there's so many twists and turns that are so interesting that this series brings out, on how
Yeah.
things could have changed at any point,
That's with any war, though. We sit and go through that with the Civil War, and with World War II. I mean, almost any war. If it's the biggest little word in the dictionary. If.
Yep.
I mean, look at the Hurricane Forest. That was another thing, was the same way. If they would have just pushed a little further, they'd have taken all of that. And, they'd have been a lot better off if they'd have sent the right uniforms to the poor soldiers. What was where the guys were all freezing in the Battle of the Bulge. They sent them in without their proper winter clothes. Winter coats and etc. And that's why it was so hard on our guys in the Battle of the Bulge. Not only were they darn near totally overrun, but they weren't properly equipped for it. Anyway, it's easy to sit here an armchair historian and not be there on the front line.
Yeah, the Germans discovered meth and they distributed it to all their soldiers. And so they were all like jacked up 24 hours a day on the march.
Well, really, they found first too, and we were scientists, and that's how we ended up finishing it off. But they were going to get them bound before us too.
Oh yeah.
And we got who was it? Werner von Braun.
Yeah, Werner von Braun.
We brought it to the United States, and that's how we ended up with the atomic bomb.
There's a kind of a sci-fi series about what would have happened if the Russians had landed on the moon first. And this is it's a historical enactment of how history would have changed if the Russians had landed on the moon and we had mobilized. And it's an incredible series. I forget the name of it, but it shows our era that we grew up in so well with the clothing and the cars and the scenery and the space race and NASA, and Werner von Braun was in it, and JFK won a second term, and Nixon never got elected, and all these turns in history. If the Russians had landed on the moon before we did.
Well, we better get our buns in gear again, because hitching a ride on Russian spaceships now isn't too much fun either.
Well, we've got a guy who living right here in Austin who's about to change all that. Elon Musk. He's changing all that.
Well, I hope he gets it first, because it's getting scary.
He's got a rocket that's enormous that he's testing frequently down in South Texas now. And he built this car factory here that's huge. They're building Teslas. And then he built 7 miles from where I live in Bastrop. He built this company called the Boring Company. And they're tunneling underground. They're going to put the roads in Austin underground. He's going to have a road between his Tesla factory and the airport. And he's only going to allow Teslas to ride in these tunnels. So you'll have to have a Tesla to ride in these, or electric car.
Is there a reason for that, or is it just
because of the fuel, because of the carbon emissions?
Carbon because it's underground.
Yeah, because it's underground. Yeah.
Huh. Do you have a Tesla?
No, I don't. I'm eyeing a Ford Lightning.
The thing is, on them, they're expensive to buy, and then the battery is so expensive to replace.
Yeah, it's the electric Ford F-150.
Before they, until they get electric battery. Well, price range.
Yeah,
Gary said,
Hey, guys,
yeah,
oil makes the world go around.
I think that's where we
Don't
should do.
buy this bullshit about electric cars.
Well, wait,
Electric this, electric that.
how do you make electric? Coal and
I
water,
guess you burn oil.
burn oil and coal.
Right. That's right.
This is
They're
like a
too scared to do anything with nuclear. Oh, Jesus.
gal down the street about her Tesla. It's a Tesla, I think it is. And she's bragging about it. And she's like, well, I'm all for not burning dirty coal. And I said, well, how do you make electricity? She said, I don't know. And I said, well, there's water power, steam, and you burn coal. And she turns on her heel and walks off. I said, you're polluting the air.
Well, you talked about you talk about your buddies down in Texas who froze to death last year because their friggin' windmills couldn't turn. They froze up. Oh,
Turbines.
come on.
well, that was
Hey,
just
A little
one.
clue, a little clue, guys. A little
That was
clue.
one. That
This
was
is what
one.
makes the world go round.
That was one little part of
Power
that.
and
They brought
money.
They brought
Power
oil
and
in.
money.
They
That's
brought
the only thing that
in
any
Florida.
government ever tries to shove down our throats using power and money.
Did you hear what I said? How they thawed the turbines? They
How'd
brought
they
some
do-
and by helicopter and dropped it on the turbines to thaw them. That's how they got it moving again. I mean,
They used helicopters. Because the
helicopters.
helicopters burned airplane fuel.
Ew. Yeah, I don't think we're ready for
Damn.
it, but I don't think we're there yet.
No, it's coming though. I
God
mean, I
gave
know.
us
I
So
know all
much
of
oil, people. Come
I-
on.
Gary. I know
Burn
all.
it.
I know all about oil. When I first came to Texas, I was a roughneck. I worked on an oil
Ooh,
drilling rig, and that is rough work, man. That is really
Yes,
hard,
it is.
dirty, dangerous, very rough work.
Yep.
So I know all about getting oil out of the ground, what it takes. And we had about the laziest crew you could imagine. We took breaks more than you could believe. But when we worked really hard, and it was fairly dangerous. One hole we dug was 7 miles. It was one of the deepest at the time. It was one of the deepest. It was actually a gas drilling operation. And
It amazes me that
amazing equipment
there
on
was
those rigs.
water that far down to support the organisms that decayed into making oil. My God, that's amazing to me.
But we
Well-
pumped water into
well.
when we were drilling, we had to pump water mixed with these sacks of minerals they called mud, drilling mud. So we
Yep.
pumped drilling mud down into the hole to lubricate it while we drilled.
Yep.
And we would drill for weeks, and about every hour we'd have to change the pipe. We'd screw a new pipe together, and then we'd wait
Yep.
about an hour, and then we'd have to do it again. So you had an hour break, and then you worked really hard for 10 minutes. You put these pipes together using a tongs, and
Crazy, crazy.
big tongs and chains and all this stuff. And they had a guy 70 feet up in the air who managed the pipe at the top. And the thing we dreaded the most was when the head of the drilling rig said, okay, we're pulling all the pipe now. And we had to pull all the pipe out of the hole, and 7 miles down. And then we worked nonstop. There were no breaks, just continuously
I bet.
unscrewing and pulling pipe out of the hole. But I'm still a fan of electric cars. We have a hybrid, and someday I hope to have an all electric car. I think it's important to have that.
someday, but I don't
I
think
know
we're
you're
there.
shaking your head, but I think it's the future.
Yeah, if we're around that long.
You're smoking something funny, Paul. Come on, give me a break.
Oh, I think someday we will too, but if let our gas and oil get used by the enemy rather than ourselves, I think we may not be free enough to develop those electric cars in 50 years from now.
Well, gosh, we didn't really get a big crowd this time. I think maybe because of the timing in between Christmas and New Year's Eve. I guess a lot of people are either traveling or visiting with family or whatever. What was your Christmas like, Nancy?
Well, like I said, we had food, which we always do, early morning mass and then breakfast and opening up presents over at Linda's house. She's the daughter that has the two boys, and Ian is the one that I take care of all the time. He doesn't speak and he has a lot of problems. So anyway, you can't mingle the two families together or the three families that are here, because they're back to work and they run around and do all kinds of stuff. And if they come in with COVID, they'd survive it, but Ian would never survive it. So then later on in the day, they all came over here to my house, and I got a large, pretty big yard, patio stuff. And so we all ate outside. And like I said, we had a Nerf war. Everybody brought their Nerf guns and rockets and Nerf guns, and we had Nerf fights. This has been kind of the tradition whenever we have a warm weather. We all go outside and use the yard. So then at nighttime, we had another dinner and then came home and went to bed.
I haven't heard of anyone in our class who's had COVID. Have you?
I haven't heard that many people, to be very truthful about it. No.
Yeah. Nobody that I've been in touch with in our classes has had it, I don't think.
I don't know anybody just up at the Historical Society 2 weeks ago, one of the gals, but she went to the blues games, 2 blues games in the same week. And she ended up with COVID, but she's the only person that I've heard of who has it.
I mean, if you watch the media, if you watch the news, you think everyone is going to get COVID. We're all going to get it. If that's
it's
what you would gather.
It's a matter of whether you test everyone, and they may have COVID, but it's not horrible. It's not whatever. I mean, west of here, everybody in Jeff City, everybody in Union, everybody in Washington, they didn't believe it in the first place. So they all got COVID. They went right through it and they went back out the other side. And so they've all been put in as figures, and you think that everybody's dying. And they said it was just like if you get flu or something. They said it was not that bad. They just kept working and doing their stuff.
Yeah, I just hope there's no long-term effects, Maybe they may get over it quickly. But what about 10 years from now or 20 years from now? What's, there may be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's always, no, I don't know anybody that got it around here. But everybody's running around with masks in the store yet. All the kids in school have got masks.
What did I miss?
Oh, we were just saying that no one we know in our class has had COVID or that we know of, But we're a pretty small sample too.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Is Cheryl trying to get on again?
I don't know what Cheryl's up to.
I'm just telling you that Rich Reinheimer had the COVID.
Oh, Rich had it. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right. He did. That's right.
Okay. How long did he have it for, Cheryl?
He said it wasn't real bad, but I think he was inoculated or whatever. He had his vaccine, but I have to get swabbed twice a week because with a rapid test, because I work at a nursing home. And there's a few people that have it there.
Yeah, that's a very high risk environment for COVID.
Yeah, and the Omicron is spreading quickly. So
it's spreading quickly. rapidly. It's highly contagious, but it seems to be the anecdotal evidence is that it's not as serious as the
Right.
previous
Right.
types.
I just like
COVID.
to make an announcement.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Make an announcement. I'm baking cookies, okay? And I just wanted to tell you guys that I saw and baking cookies makes me happy. But when I saw myself on YouTube, I said, oh my God. So I need to tell you that I do not have Parkinson's. I have what's called a familial essential tremor. And that's why my head shakes a lot, especially when I'm in a situation like we had 10
Yeah,
days ago.
I didn't even notice.
darned.
If you hadn't
Oh,
pointed it
yeah,
out
it
to me,
is.
I wouldn't have noticed.
No.
I
Oh
didn't
my
notice
God.
anything like that.
I did too. I did. Oh God.
Well,
Anyway, so
you're more self-conscious. I didn't notice anything, Cheryl. You look fine to me.
No.
well, I've had it like 30 something years, and my mother gave it to me, among other things. But anyway, I really enjoyed listening to you guys tonight, but I have to get back to my cookies. And I find it hard to believe
More
that
important, come on.
What are you cooking? What do you got cooking there? Cookies?
yeah. The chocolate chip cookies, only they're called extraordinary chocolate chip cookies. And they're so good.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl, you want to go
Yeah.
against me on my chocolate chip cookies? I'll eat you alive, girl.
Okay, whatever. My sister had a birthday yesterday, and my other sister brought a cake from Fetterhofer's bakery. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Carrot cake was out of this world. I said, I thought I baked a good carrot cake, but no, this was like, whew, we were in heaven. So anyway, I just want to
Before you
sign
leave.
off. Huh? What?
No, Cheryl, before you leave,
Yeah.
we all know that sometime in the future, Nancy Brundick person will arrange a real get together for our class. Okay?
Yeah.
And at that point in time, when we get together for that
Yeah.
reunion, you bring your chocolate chip cookies and I'll bring mine, and we'll see just who's got the best. Okay?
Okay.
That's my challenge, girl.
Okay. Well, a challenge accepted.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to sign off because I have some to go in and I just took some out, and I'm sort of glad that I don't have to watch myself on this YouTube thing again, because I wouldn't do it anyway. And I said, oh
Okay.
my God, I wanted you to know that I don't have Parkinson's. I just have an essential tremor.
I never noticed it at
Good
all.
to know.
Did not,
Oh,
it was not
please.
noticeable at all.
Okay.
I wouldn't worry about it at all, Cheryl.
Well, can you tell me why I couldn't get on my computer?
Because you have your video muted, or you don't have the camera selected. It's either you don't have the right camera selected or you have the video muted. It's one of those two things.
On my computer?
Yeah, on your computer. Do you have a You have
On
a webcam on your computer, right?
Yeah.
And you don't.
But
You just
I'm on
don't have
my
it
phone
selected.
right now. I'm
Well,
on my phone.
Then you have your video muted, most likely. Wait, is it an iPhone
Okay.
or is it an Android phone?
Oh, it's an Android. I'm a snob.
No, you're not a snob. Actually, iPhone people are probably more snobbish than Android people.
Yeah, I know, but
Really, they are.
I don't know
But-
how to help my boyfriend. He's got an iPhone, and I don't know how to help him. So, yeah. Anyway,
You don't know how to
It's
help him.
Beyond help if he's got an
What do you mean
Yeah.
you don't know how to help him? He
he's
shouldn't need
he's
help.
leaving.
You should be able to figure that out.
Well, he's leaving for his villa in Naples, Florida next week. And so I'll be without him for like 3 months. So I'll be crying and cruising and
You'll probably show up for these Zoom meetings every month.
maybe, yeah, if I can figure out how to. Well, I was on there last.
Yeah, but just touch the link on your email, and it brings it in. It asks want to join
I
with
did.
it.
And
then
it said, click here to launch, if you want to launch, get on the meeting. And it said you were already in progress.
Yeah, we were in progress.
I know, but you usually accept me, right?
I did. I accepted you immediately.
On my phone.
Yeah.
But it asks
Okay.
you to join with video. It asks you if you want to join with audio, and you have to touch those.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try to remember that. So
But
how come we had them so close together this time?
I don't know. I just thought I'd try it. I just wanted to try, see if I texted people if they would show up, because I had never texted people before. I always just sent them out emails. So I thought, well, I'll try it again in a week and I'll send everybody a text message and see if we get a big group. But
Yeah, but it didn't work. But
so
did
next
you-
month, should we do it on the first week, second, third, or fourth week, Monday of the month? And is Monday the best day?
Monday's a good day for me. I don't know about anybody else.
Monday's good here
Yeah.
too.
But the first, second, third, or fourth, which one?
What were we doing?
We were doing the fourth. We were doing the third, and this is the
Third.
fourth.
Yeah, I think it was the third.
The
But we
third, yeah.
On and keep it. Otherwise, people will start.
I guess I'll
Yeah.
just go back to the third then. We'll do it
The
on the third Monday of next month.
Okay.
As
We'll do it
little
at-
change as possible to people our age.
True, yeah, true.
Yeah. Nice
me-
talking to you guys. Happy New Year.
Same back at you, girl.
I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right. Here, because
Bye.
it's his today's Rick's birthday. That's why he's not here. He's probably at a party.
Whose birthday?
Rick Reinheimer.
Oh, Rich
Oh.
Reinheimer. It's his birthday, huh?
That's right, yeah.
All
It
right.
was on Facebook. Yeah. I don't normally watch Facebook, but I just happened to have a free day. So I was looking at it. So yeah, it's his birthday.
How do I get this off my phone?
You can't. It's there permanently. You're just gonna have to be on there.
It's
the rest of your
curse
life now.
Zoom.
Yeah.
No, just
Oh,
you just
God.
hit the thing that says quit or end or something. If you want to
Okay.
leave it.
Did you
Or
get
turn it
my
off.
message? Did you get my message, Paul, that I didn't get a text and
I
I
did.
sent you my,
I did. I got
Right.
a new phone number now, so you will get
Yeah.
texts in the future.
okay, good. Okay, I'll try to get off of here now. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
gonna wrap it up here too. If you guys want to stick around, I can leave the meeting running or we can end it now.
Okay, nice talking
got-
to you.
I got
Bye.
washer and dryer. I have to pull out.
Are you good
I'm
with
on
ending
washer
now,
duty.
Nancy?
I got stuff to do.
Okay, we'll wrap it now. Enjoyed hanging out with y'all.
Yeah,
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
All right, before you go, Paul,
Yeah,
what number do you have for me? I'm
let me
Home line. I got rid of that and I'm just on cell.
let
That
me
could be,
check. I'll check right now. Let me end the recording and
Okay.